Some agents think this means they're leaving their profession headshot on Facebook with contact information, and that's all it's going to take. That will not generate results unless you are already extremely popular. Once you are using your network, it's important for you to do some very quick marketing to show that you are active and they consistently, once looking you up, can recognize you as a viable agent. You're relevant in their particular area. Running and optimizing these kind of ads do take a little bit of time, but the more ads you run, the more chances you have to learn what works and what doesn't. Pay attention. What did I do here? Take some notes. Did this work? Did I get any phone calls? Did I get any DMs from it? This will help you generate a very strong return on your investment. And for those of you that don't like to get out and door knock, this is the virtual door knocking of your area. You might be surprised to learn that every single lead generation service that agents pay use the exact same strategies. They create and offer a value, a personalized home evaluation, a home maintenance checklist, whatever it is. They design an ad, they budget, you follow up, they follow up, but ultimately the exact same thing is going to happen over and over and over again until you see a result. You're going to continue to optimize that same ad, saying a similar statement until it grabs or until the timing works. Getting high quality leads at a price per lead that you're comfortable with is your target. You need to figure out what that is, what you can afford to invest in your advertising every single month. Target it, set it as a cap so that you don't go over it, and consistently change your marketing based on return of conversation. Then we're going to talk real quickly about one of my favorites, FSBOs, for sale by owners, and how to do it the right way. Convincing homeowners looking to sell FSBOs seem like a fighting an uphill battle to a lot of agents, but I'm telling you, the returns are worth it. Put in the legwork, and I'm going to give you 2 quick, easy ways to convince a FSBO to meet with you and how to rely on simple psychological principles. Number 1, practice the right FSBO conversations, and then go practice it some more. Having the right script is not enough when it comes to a FSBO. You don't want to get hung up on. You need to deliver the script with confidence and conviction, and there's no way you're going to be able to do that without a lot of practice. So get ready for an insane percentage of failure while you get that under your belt. There are compilations of FSBO scripts out there on the internet, and there are some really good ones that are successful. Try them all. In your area, they might work. In another area, they might not. You need to find the right FSBO script for your golden neighborhood, because if someone has lost faith in what real estate agents do, or if they're in a financial position where they don't feel like they can afford to pay for a real estate agent, you need to have that honest conversation so you know who that is, because whether or not they are your client or whether they are competition for the listing you already have, you need to have relevant conversations, because if their listing isn't selling, you better be who they're calling. Leveraging FOMO when you're writing these kinds of things, the fear of missing out. Nothing is more fun than driving by a FSBO, a for sale by owner, with a listing flyer that, as a professional, you can drop off at their house, just telling them, hey, here's another house similar to yours in the community that I represent. If you would like me to bring them to yours as well, I'm happy to bring some buyers by here, but I need to take a look around your house and let's get a representation agreement. So specifically, if I bring you a buyer, you're willing to pay my compensation. There are some amazing FSBO flyers out there and FSBO postcards. I mean, it can be as simple as, if you sell your home yourself, you could lose $55,000 in the process. Trust me, that'll get somebody's attention real quick. You can do some very fast averages. You can put some real good quotes on there. Believe it or not, many homeowners miss out on thousands of dollars when they sell their home. The truth is, selling your home with a realtor can cause huge losses, like in a sales scenario that I just described. Or you could work with me. I recently helped homeowners in your neighborhood, just like you, selling their home for asking or above asking price. But the negotiations is when the battle ensued. And without my skill set, my client would have been taken advantage of. Without a seasoned realtor on your side, you will be taken advantage of too. Coffee's on me. Let me know how I can help. And then I want to touch a little bit on conversion. Probably the best way for you to get some practice about talking about real estate is when you are in an environment that people already want to talk about real estate. Yeah, I'm talking about open houses. Open houses for a lot of you seem like a complete waste of time. A lot of agents tend to avoid them, but I'm not leveraging these opportunities is putting you in a position where you're not having relevant conversations with people that are already out looking to buy a house. Neighbors in the area, especially, like to come by and see what the neighbors are selling their house for, how well they're selling their house. They may not have any intention to buy today. They're going to remember you if you represented their neighbor or friend's house appropriately. The odds of a visitor who needs to sell their house showing up is slim to none. But the practice, the relevance, the right conversations, the lead generation for the future cannot be priced. Open houses are a fantastic strategy, and it's the best way for you to get future listings and to become a repeated name in a community that you're trying to work on. There's a great book out there called Listing Impossible. If you get a chance to read it, Yawar Charlie is the author. I honestly wish that there was more articles like this. It's very short. It's not like a bestseller or anything, but it makes sense. And I'll quote a little bit from the book. I always looked at open houses as an opportunity to pick up, but a buyer never picked up a listing. I wish I had thought about it in a different way and considered that this was an opportunity for me to meet neighbors, for me to expand my network, for me to tell them about what I could do for them, and potentially pick up additional listings in the area. It's about the potential, and it's always been about the potential. And one thing that Yawar describes in his statements in that article is how many times that he forego doing something that seems cumbersome and seems useless because there are no numbers to support that you did it with purpose. It cost him an opportunity to become a better agent if he wouldn't have participated. So before the big day, obviously, before you go jumping on top of representation for someone else's listing or a listing of your own, you do need to learn some basic open house scripts. Make sure that you can drive the conversations in certain ways so that they can um, smooth out the local gossip and make sure that you understand enough about the things that happen in the area that would be beneficial for them to be a new homeowner, for example, and make sure to review some of the best open house ideas on the internet and make sure that you're being relevant during the showing. Then, of course, follow up. I can't say this enough in every single class I have. Even if you generate a ton of leads, buy a ton of leads, save a ton of leads, if you don't stay in touch with them, they will forget about you. Your best friends, your family, your colleagues that you work with every single day. If real estate is your side hustle and you don't present yourself as, hey, I'm also an active real estate agent, I don't expect you to walk into your business meetings and hand out real estate business cards to keep people on point. But nothing's cooler than putting a little success postcard on your things that I sold a house in your neighborhood this day. Somebody walking by and saying, hey, you sold a house? Yeah, I sold a house last week. Make it nonchalant, but it will be a great conversation piece. Automating your follow-up is also key. Make sure your CRM and your social media is working for you so that you're selling houses even when you're asleep. If you are looking for an easy plug-and-play solution, HomeBot is great. It is a good technology. Every single month, your Sphere is going to get an email update with estimated home values, hyperlocal data, neighborhood trends. It's a cool it's a cool tool. It can run a little pricey depending on the area that you're using it in, but I like the HomeBot system a lot, and it'll help with some of that automation. And then, of course, the old classic, just sending out an update postcard. I mean, wow, you just sold a house. You made a commission. You need to take a percentage of that commission and sink it back into marketing in the same area that you just sold a house in. Let me be clear. The whole time that the listing was there, they had a sign in the yard and there was active marketing happening throughout the internet, on Zillow, on Realtor.com, to make sure that everybody knew that you had a house for sale. What happened when it sold? If you don't draw a tight circle around that, and at minimum, send out a postcard, at minimum, do a Google or a Facebook area review showing that you just sold a property, How are the neighbors going to know that they've got a successful real estate agent that is selling a home on the same street? That's the only way that you're going to get it done. While not every demographic is going to respond well to a postcard, it is still one of the cheapest mediums out there. But one key demographic I'm going to tell you does better than anybody else, and that's your senior citizens. They have tons of equity in their homes already, and it gets better. The NAR statistics, and the numbers don't lie, kids, but it shows that first-time home buyers are getting older with the average age of 38 before they buy their first home. That means that the average person ready to sell their home is much likely going to be the ones reading your postcard. So pay attention to what has shifted. The older generation was able to buy their home when it was affordable for them, and now they have a session of equity sitting there that's going to make it optimal for them to sell. You need to make sure that you're also working the very next deal with them. Where are you moving to, and how do I find you a place to park your real estate earnings into your next real estate venture? So maybe we can offset a little higher interest rate by buying those interest rates down or by putting down a larger down payment. All of those things can make a difference. There are a number of things you need to keep in mind when you're trying to get listings on a budget, but that's why it's important for you to stay open to it. Keep up with the legwork. If you've got some other tips and things that fellow agents need to know about that's been successful for you, trust me, sharing is the best way for real estate agents to respect you in your field. You're not losing any business by working with a competitor. Trust me, your best friend might work with a much bigger agency or have a much bigger success ratio than you. Treat them like they deserve. Buy them a cup of coffee. You need their experience. You need to understand what has been successful and relevant to them, and maybe, just maybe, what you're doing wrong. Enjoy your day. Do great business, everybody. Hearing good things, and here comes the swing for spring in the market. This is our favorite time of the year. If you have set yourself up for success, like we've been teaching you since December, you should be armed and ready for the battle that's about to ensue. The spring season can carry your career for the entire year. You can hit all your budgets. This is your Black Friday. Go hit your numbers and have a great season. Looking forward to talking to you again next week.